Nerd. People. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin.
Good morning, well, good afternoon, everybody,
Mm-hmm.
on the Eastern Standard Time. How's everybody doing? We're going to have some really, really great classes coming up on the ancient Egyptian concept of the soul. It's probably one of the most mysterious aspects of spirituality in general, just simply because of the agnosticism that is going on. Um, we're going to have the hiding a whole lot of sciences that relate to things like free energy and confusing people about those things. But then the mechanics of your soul, your personality that really ties into your survival instincts and your evolution, in terms of um secrecy and spirituality. That's one of the golden nuggets that is missing out of a whole lot of spiritual schools of thought.
I'm sorry, damn, we so rude. We are both very rude.
We are very rude,
We just jumped in.
telling people
No,
all type of deep stuff.
yeah, like salute to the international audience,
Everybody
to
out there,
domestic, yeah. So to the domestic, the intergalactical, outergalactical, all the beings far and wide, the ones that's rocks with us, of course. Okay. So you see, we have this treat for you. All right. We had a lot of people that come to get the Egyptian mystery system. As you see, this is part two of the Egyptian mystery system, the pay-per-view live stream link. I'm putting it up in there now, correct?
mm,
And I'm pasting it and pinning it in the comment section. So I got a treat for y'all today.
give them a treat. Give them a treat.
And you could say it's a tease because we like to show y'all what the hell y'all be missing. Okay? And when you see the heavy hitters on this live stream right here, you'll get to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So let me see y'all. Where y'all at? Make sure y'all comment. Let me see y'all. Um yeah, okay. So let me paste that. There you go. So you could go get that link. Let me show you how it look. Let me share my screen as usual so you see what we see. So explain this to them real quick, shall we please? I'm sharing the screen. Let them know what this is, Babanu. Go ahead, let them know.
This here is the Tree of Life Within Man Egyptian Mystery System Part 2 class that we will be having, where we will be going over the different divisions of your soul. The fact that you have more than one soul, or spirit, and even the language, and even saying this is kind of confounded. You know, we are we have more than one personality. We are conglomerated beings. We are not singular entities, and it is an evolutionary function of consciousness and integration that we experience ourselves as one person, but we are not. And we will be learning the different core aspects of the personality, how it corresponds with the tree of life, and even get an understanding of where, quote unquote, uh where, why, and how, quote unquote, religion and spirituality plays in our life, especially with the zodiac as a representation of the tree of life. It is said that when Krishna was born, he swallowed the stars, and when we are born, a part of our personality, a major part of our personality, is taken from the heavens, and this gives us an astrological chart. But there's a specific part of the soul that really takes that on. And interestingly enough, in terms of esotericism and spirituality and the evolutionary path, that part of the soul actually corresponds to Christ, and Christed, and Christed as a journey, as an evolutionary attainment. And what happened is that in ancient Kemet, first of all, the concept of Christ comes directly from ancient Kemet. The mummified body was called Christ. And at the completion of mummification, the purpose was to gather up all the different parts of your soul and have them united, you know, wi- without your physical body still getting all of the nutrients and stuff like that, because they understood that your physical body, which is called the cat, and you have nine souls. You hear about a cat having nine lives. That also comes out of ancient Egypt, because it's like our physical body has nine different parts to it, and our physical body, as well as another part of our subtle spiritual body, it played a role in um sublimating the energies from the food into the different parts of our spirit. So, there was this concept in ancient Egypt that even after a person has passed on, you should still, give them offerings, but that was so that they could be active in the physical world. And there was a whole lot of misinterpretation that I'm seeing from the Egyptologists when they are talking about these things. Um, when they are talking about the ancient Egyptians were saying that you have to give, you know, um, offerings to the Ka. You could also give offerings to. There was also the Kaibit as well. But in terms of why and the explanation, it's not always up to par. But the ancient Egyptian priesthood invested a lot of time in working with these different parts of us, especially in death. And this was something that the people who really could afford it would have. You know, it is when you start to evolve, when you start to develop different spiritual gifts and talents and stuff like that, it manifests in the different parts of your soul.
But you have people now
Mhm.
that would say, okay, Babanu, I hear all that, that's hot, but these people also they dealt with death, but they were also dealing with necromancy. So how do you explain that, which people will see were considered evil, where, like you said, the rich will be able to afford this stuff and they go around doing stuff to their own people to achieve their goals. So, what is your response to people that will say, well, the Egyptian mystery system was basically a very high spiritual system, yes, but was only for rich intellectual people and they didn't care about the poor people?
Well, I won't comment on whether they're cured, but that's life on the planet until we create a utopia. And
Mm.
we should talk about that. When you have mankind trying to move up and establish society on Earth, there's going to be a division of labor, a division of tasks, just so that things can be done. But if you don't reach it, not it's not just good enough to be righteous. You needed infrastructure whereby things are quote unquote free.
Go
Huh?
ahead.
Once you have developed the technology that can manage most of the production, the 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 creation of the things that we need, then it won't be a situation whereby you can get this only if you can pay for it. And the only way you can pay for it is if you either go sell a whole lot of some type of product or service or rob someone. That is the system that you know um you know and that really brings us to the point as to why these teachings are so important, why you want to get involved in this, because as it was then, it was only for special people.
Which is,
And it was
I don't want to seem like I'm being argumentative here, right? But even it's still
it's
only
still
for special.
only
Because
for
look, like when we
special,
get it there, like
Yeah.
we doing this pay-per-view live stream.
it's still only for special people. I mean, we started out, it was
And this
earlier
is part
last year.
two.
Yeah,
And we made sure only special people dealt with part one
right.
and got the books.
You're right.
Because those are the people, like they said, they would get into dreams,
Getting dreams.
and all that, especially after reading the book and they seen themselves in the garbs. And
Right.
so, because you was going through the
Yeah.
symbols with them. So in part two, you're going even deeper now. So isn't it just for people that is really high level and up there, for them to even go on and purchase this? Like, people see the price right here. For them to even go purchase this,
And there's 3 classes,
right?
so it's like $200 per class, and we are going over at least.
Well, you just said price. You forgot, right?
No,
Now we on YouTube. You know the deal when we on YouTube.
I thought it was
No.
implicit in the tickets.
No. You know the deal on
Okay,
YouTube.
man.
You know we don't. You know YouTube
Oh,
gonna
man.
start. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You're slipping. Anyway, YouTube is a mother so and so. They don't play, man.
And
They be like, "Oh, y'all advertising?"
And
come on, bro.
and,
They don't play that.
I'm trying to talk about the fact that they tried to kill me for putting this information in the book and for talking about this stuff, because it was only for
not just the book. You've been contacted with the first one when we was doing, and we don't like to tell people this because then we don't want people to stray away and don't want to buy the ticket, because they like, if they trying to come at Baba Nu for trying
they
to
might try
give
to
the
come at me.
information, right? And we heard people say stuff like that before, like,
Baba
I'm
Nu's
scared
not
to
alive.
get it. I wanna
Baba
get it.
Nu's be murdered and cloned in every place.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. That wasn't that crazy?
That
The
was
crazy stuff that
People
they be
was
saying.
talking about that stuff in terms of so-called, whether it be spiritual leaders or famous people.
They be trying to say Baba Nu is a clone.
Baba Nu's a clone. That's not the same.
He holding
guy.
back on the information, but like you said, it's for special people. That's why so many people that got it, they all said they seen themselves there. You understand? So it's not to be mean that to say, oh, you're poor, back
Right.
off, you're not getting this. If you are not taking the initiation to get yourself in order to get this type of information, then what? then you're doomed. Basically, it's
You-
not for you.
Is
I don't care how much you into the Egyptian mystery system. It's not for you
it's not for you.
because you have a spiritual richness and you have a spiritual poorness.
Yeah,
The ones that are spiritually rich and the ones that are spiritually poor. Which one are you?
man, I be having to literally pull a rabbit out of hat, and when you're on the spiritual,
I'm sorry, Babanu. I'm sorry.
What?
Hold that thought real quick, because I find it real strange. Every time we start to go live, you see Donna Harvey says, y'all are blurry. And I don't understand this. I go live with Brother Divine and everybody all the time. This is how y'all know something is really going on. And it's a suppression of the information. Like when we go live, we be getting cut off. You see how many times all this type of stuff. People don't understand how important this information is. So I want to know right now, if it's Donna Harvey's computer, are we looking live? Live. Are we looking blurry to anybody else now? Because I want to get to the bottom of this. Because this shows like I'm tired of every time we go live, we do our live streams, it's always some type of interference. So I need y'all cooperation to answer me. Type in, let me know. Because this is ridiculous. I don't get this. Every time we're trying to give the information, the stuff is cutting out. We getting real blurry. The audio is looking horrible. But when me, Divine, Contour, anybody else do it, it's clear until we start unless we start dropping certain deep information like this. But when I come on here with you and we start dropping the deep information, this happens. So, all right, come on, let's go. Give it to her.
my goodness, I was thinking about how this is the second class that I'm doing. How when we was doing the first class, I got blocked on Facebook, so I couldn't market it on Facebook, and it has happened again. So there's always some,
Oh, they're saying it's all right now. They're saying,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Because we was talking about something, but one, when you look at the zodiac, and we want to correlate it to different spheres of the tree of life, there are like 12 basic personality types that we have to learn and master, learn to express, etc. As to say, there's sometimes where you have to put on a different mask in your life, and it is through the Ka division of the spirit that focus really comes to bear, especially since that is your outward physical expression with the rest of the world, where it will be challenged more for you to be able to express different personality types. And that is evolutionary. That's under the concept of the Camus principle and deity of Kepera.
So that's crazy. Because I just did my Instagram post with me, and I know you ain't get a chance to see it because I just did it with the mask. And I did a video yesterday talking about putting on the mask, and you have to wear these masks to deal with certain individuals or hide yourself from certain individuals, and you have to watch and see, because a lot of in the Egyptian mystery system, like me and you, we study it and we go deep into it. We get to learn there's always masks. There's masks made out of gold. There are all these type of masks. And that's why, like with me and Brother Divine, we put the masks together, like with the copper, the platinum, and the crystals in it and whatnot. And people don't understand the significance in that. And I know we will be getting into that with the pay-per-view live stream.
And I'll tell you one thing. If you're new to so-called spirituality, witchcraft, or voodoo, you should wear a mask when you're doing your stuff so that people don't know who you are.
Woo, say that again, please. Say that again.
You should wear a mask, at least cover yourself when you're doing your rituals and ceremonies so that people don't know that it's you. Because when you do things, it travels and other people can pick up and see who it is. And now you're on the target list.
Why you think when you going to rob somebody?
Yeah, people don't,
Huh?
this
Huh?
is the
Or they
thing,
had the
right?
face mask they put on.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
People don't have a practical, logical, and rational way of thinking about spirituality and spiritual life.
Because, well, first off, they're not getting classes like this to learn.
Yeah, and I want to go back and say, because this was so disappointing. This quote unquote elder said that the ancient Egyptians didn't believe that when they're on the astral, they'll see different types of animals. What? Yo, people change. People don't.
They
change
put the stuff with them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
People transform, especially your.
And this is an elder that's into Egypt.
Yeah, your spiritual body is more mutable and transformable, and it's transformed via sound, emotions and energy. But you need to be able to change and transform to meet and deal with different situations. And even the tree of life is looked at as the different personality types that you need to master. When I was a kid, there was this Christian song. It went 10 talents have I to reach to the sky, etc. Those are the 10,
old school.
Yeah, those are the 10 spheres on the tree of life. As it was saying, God gives us 10 talents to master.
What are you doing?
What?
That's what we're supposed to kick for the live stream. Yes. Go ahead.
Hello.
That's supposed to be for the pay-per-view live. I'm looking at you like, yo, why you giving up that information? That's not even information you're supposed to be giving live. You know that. No, not no regular live.
Yeah.
You want them entities to visit your ass, huh? Okay.
You got to correlate. You got to synthesize and harmonize the information that you get. You have to extrapolate.
And let me say this. The problem, what's up, Trace?
Hey, what's up?
I'm good.
All right.
The problem, yeah, live.
Hello.
The problem is, what I noticed too, people don't want to pay the money to get the mask. Like, if we tell people the type of mask that me and Brother Divine be making for certain individuals that come and get the mask, and we bless it, and then they pay extra to have Baba Nu bless the mask for them. You will be surprised the type of people that come in here and you're like, ain't you a doctor? You're a surgeon? You're a judge. Don't you be on TV? Ain't you? Hold on. You ready for this? Ain't you a YouTube? Not YouTube. What's this stuff called? Instagram model. Like, what are you doing? We don't want to judge, and we don't want to chase them away because they're paying their money. So we don't want to pry too much. But you are Instagram model. What are you wearing? What do you want this mask for? And because I don't see you posted on your Instagram. Huh? Let's go there. We don't see you posted on your Instagram.
We're living in a serious time now because.
So you're doing the spiritual rituals and you put on the mask.
The mask and the regalia.
Right. To suck these people in to your gram.
And so that when people see you on the astral plane, they're seeing something else.
This is real. People need to learn this. And it's certain things spiritually, of course, that we're able to tell you, just like how we're alive right now. And there's certain things where they're like, nah, we only could give this information up in classes. And you see these celebrities, these different people that we have to keep their identity private.
Yeah.
That will deal with us, and it's so hard for us to keep quiet on it because we're like, if you know the type of people that interact with us, y'all will jump on this type of thing faster. Shout out to T Maz. Salute to you for that super chat support. Like, y'all will jump on this even faster. It's crazy. Certain comedians that's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they come to us, or they'll be slick and send somebody else to, well, they don't know. So this system with wearing the mask, which book you got into that? I think it's what, 2? Which volume?
It might be 1.
Volume 1. And volume 1 of the God Jesus, if anybody read it, you see all 3 volumes, you would know that definitely in volume 1, Baba Nu was dropping that. So that's why these are so important. That's why we make the mask for the people. Some of them want it with copper. Some of them want it with copper, platinum, silver, and gold. All right. The point is, we make it because the energy, it's a reason those Egyptians, the high priests, the pharaohs, how you call the queens of Egypt, priest, not the priestess. You got the priestess, yes, but
The priestesses.
what's the word for?
They didn't have a word for queens.
So it's just pharaohs too.
Nisutet.
Thank you. I know it's a
Nisutet.
damn word. You telling me ain't no word.
There's Nisut and Nisutet.
Nesutet. You see, like the priestesshood of Isis.
Yeah.
They were deep in wearing these masks, these gold masks. When the people find these gold masks, like the few that they found in the Grand Canyon, remember the Egyptian masks that they found when the war broke, they found these ancient Egyptian masks. Yes, in America, in the Grand Canyon, made of pure gold. Then they found one in Egypt, what was very interesting. They found one in Egypt where it's like this, the mask, the Egyptian mask with the pharaoh, and then when you turn it around like this on the inside, the ancient Hebrew writing was all lined up. Remember that one? It was all lined up in the mask.
Put it on the face.
So when they put it on a face, the mask, the ancient Egyptian Hebrew, not that Egyptian hieroglyphics, but the ancient Egyptian Hebrew. That's why some people don't understand. Right. Yeah. That's why some people don't understand when me and Baba Nu, we talk about with ancient Egypt and we talk about the Hebrew, people just don't get it. But that's because you're not initiated, I guess is the word, in the certain Egyptian mystery system.
And you're too caught up in the world of deception out there, man.
Meaning
it's like, I was walking on the streets and I had one of these books, and this girl who I guess she thought she was Hebrew, she walked up to me talking about, oh, you're a Hebrew, blah, 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 blah.
Like if you didn't know that already.
Like if I don't know that. Like if, I mean, there's a lot, unfortunately, there's lately I've seen a lot of people that are into Egypt, but they don't know about the Hebrew thing. But that never was my path.
Matter of fact, they tried to tell you to stay away from the Hebrew thing.
Yeah, and Dr. Ben didn't do that. Dr. Ben, just like Gerald Massey and other European writers, always connected the Hebrew with the Khmu.
Dr. Ben, and that's why I can't understand with certain people in
Dr. Ben is just a Jew from the Nile Valley.
In which he said himself. He said, we're all Hebrew. He said that out his own mouth. So the people that's into the Egyptology, they always mention Dr. Ben. They never like to show that video clip.
No.
They never like to show his books that he wrote on Egypt, teaching that. No. They stay away from that.
No. When I was incarcerated, this brother said the best thing I ever heard. He just came out of it out of the blue. He said, I'm a Jew from the Nile Valley. And that's it, man.
I was trying not to laugh. I really was trying not to laugh because I've been watching the separation. Even when they talk about Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they forget where he went and learned
Mm-hmm.
in certain mystery systems, which he was already, when you read
Right.
the lost books of the Bibles,
Right.
Infancy 1 and Infancy 2,
Mm-hmm.
you learn where he was already doing this stuff, making the animals out of clay. Then the little boy came and killed this stuff, and then he struck the little boy down dead.
Jesus was a bad.
They took that out the Bible.
They took that
The
out
council,
They
the
said he
council
was
of
a-
Nicaea pulled that out
They
the
said
Bible.
He was a bad boy.
You understand? But it was like, yo, okay,
And
we
they
need
said,
to send you over there to Egypt.
and they said that he could
Come on.
transform too. They said
Of
he could
course he
transform
could. But
and look
But they
different.
don't talk about that because you have the Egyptians saying, stay away from this. You have the Hebrews say, stay away from this, which I understand why the Hebrews will say, stay away from this. But when you get deeper and dig deeper into it, down to Moses and all,
Down to
Moshe, where he stayed in the household, Moses was dealing with what? The Egyptian priest,
the Magi.
the Magi's.
Yeah.
When you just take the rod, turn it into steak, that's a mystery system, and people like to separate the systems.
Yeah, it's like me. I learned a long time ago. Don't get caught up in this division, and that is really what it is. You have to source your knowledge from several different sources because it was made that way. The deities is a punishment to mankind that forces humanity to go and study, and obviously having some level of respect for other people's knowledge, for other people's wisdom, for other people's culture, history, and stuff like that.
You know where the division really started coming in? Because when you had wicked individuals in Egypt that started doing bad things to the Hebrew, it was one of those where it's like, we're not forgiven. And then when you have an Egyptian system where you had, I hate to say it, even to this time right now, where you have pedophiles that's dealing with the pederast and all that start sneaking in, it makes the system looks like it's homosexual in nature and demonic in nature. Am I correct if I'm wrong? Because not just because we on here. Like, if you agree, you
could
say
go
it. If you
to-
disagree, say it.
And you know, when you look at the exodus of Africans from not just Kemet, but also Israel as well, they left because of the homosexuality.
Woo! No, you didn't just
Yeah.
say that. Say that again.
They left because of the homosexuality.
Who? Say it again.
The Africans, whether they were in Kemet, Israel, whatever, as the Greeks started to really get an upper hand. I mean, Alexandria was homosexual.
But everybody think that it's Alexandria that brought that in. They don't like to face the fact that you had Egyptians in there at that land of the time before him that was doing their funny business.
No, what happens is that there has been a degeneration. Degeneration in the culture as they had to bring on younger people, migrants, people who were from Europe mixed with black. Now they are mixed. They are Greek, but they're coming in and mixing in with the people. It pulled the moral standard down. You had too much mixing. But look at the Hebrew menorah, right?
Right.
That came from Atlantis. That's the harbor. They just cut it in half.
Mhm.
That's the harbor of Crete and Minoa. So the menorah comes from the Minoans. So there's a connection now as well with
Ooh,
the
we back up.
Hebrews
Rewind. You don't say that so quick and just breeze over. The menorah came from the who? The
from
Menorans.
from the Minoans.
Minoans.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the Minoans were like the last in that area of what survived of Atlantis. Meaning that when the Greeks made that as a candle lamp, it meant that Atlantis is the light,
Mm.
right? In ancient Egypt, Solon, he was speaking to a Greek about how young they are, and he was talking about Atlantis. What happened is that younger, more immature people started to rise. And part of that reason is that the older, more stalwarts, they did not want to go and produce a whole lot of advanced technology.
You know why I could agree with you on that? Because like when you're reading the Bible, it shows that like in the Bible say, do not abhor the Egyptian, for you been a stranger in their land. Okay, and they took you in, right?
And that's
So we got
important
that.
because watch Ring of Power. When you read Gerald Massey, there were Egyptians insulting Jews. When you watch Ring of Power, the Jews came there as refugees.
Right,
And
and they took them in.
and they took them in, and of course, didn't have the best jobs. They weren't
But they
involved.
weren't at first. They weren't like the sheep herders. They known as they weren't enslaving the sheep herders at the time, and that was the older generation. And then, ironically enough, once the Pharaoh came in, and that's where they start tying into Moses. If we really pay attention to the story, that's when everything turned up. When the younger generation, the younger Pharaoh,
Right,
took over. Am I correct?
right. And also, there was something astrological going on at the time
Always.
that was relative to the Jews going back to and getting their homeland, because they had their thing to do. They lost their land for the same thing that I'm saying. White people coming out the mountains, mixing in with the Africans, and then there's all this war and strife. Hebrews lost their land. They came down into Kemet. Then they got it back, and they were supposed to do things. And
But they got held up from the
got
younger generations
I
of
mean,
the Egyptians.
well, Israel broke down pretty quickly. They started with the infighting. When you look at the Vikings, and this is why I say watch Ring of Power. The Vikings were the blackest, most African-looking Hebrews.
The
And
who? The Viking.
yeah,
Yes, that's true.
the tribe of Dan, they were being
Oh, you going
discriminated.
deep.
Yeah,
You
they were
going
being
deep.
they were being discriminated against by the lighter skinned Hebrews.
You going deep now.
So they said, crap this. And they decided to go and invade Europe and mix and become lighter as well. Now, when you look at the Viking mythology and stuff like that, it looks straight up. You're like, what are Israelites doing with this stuff? It means that you don't know. They're hiding the truth.
and that's why and that's why
Like, who is
when they see us with the Norse
mythology?
symbolisms, and we look and pay attention to the mythology of that, people don't understand when we say, listen, this stuff is really all Hebrew. You just have a certain branch that break off that was wicked and started doing some wicked stuff. When we start dealing with the runes,
right,
and whatnot, because its symbolism is very important. That's why, like in this pay-per-view live stream, let me put it up for them. In this pay-per-view live stream, and I'm putting the link, all right, and it's also pinned in the how you call it? It's also pinned in the comment section. Okay. When you start dealing with this information, you get to understand there's a system which you're not going to just hear on YouTube. You're not just going to read it in any book. It's just not that's just not what it is. You understand? It's not the end thing. Okay? So, I'm putting the link up again for the Egyptian mystery system. This is part 2, by the way. Okay? For people who don't want to get it on Eventbrite and you want to call me directly and get it, no problem. We could do that because some people want to avoid the fees, whatever. I get it. So you could do that as well. But we got the link up there for people who really want to get it on Eventbrite, because this type of information not only just change your life, it'll change your life for better, and it'll open you up to a whole new world that's really in front of your face.
Yeah, I was,
but
really,
it got a mask. There's a veil.
Yeah, on my way here, I was really thinking about the tree of life, and cross-referencing and correlating the different trees of life. That's how you get deeper a deeper understanding.
Hold on. Here goes the email. This is Baba News email. Just so y'all know, it's on the screen right here, right there. Continue.
Yeah, this is how you get a deeper, more richer and holistic understanding of the system as well. For people out there who might not be or might not have been getting a whole lot of spiritual contact and stuff like that. That's the reason for initiation. That's also the reason for the initiations properly done that uses things like the psilocybin mushroom.
Stop right there. Stop right there, because that's information. I mean, I would let you flow with it, but that's information that's really for the pay-per-view live stream. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna allow that to happen. And this is the reason why. When you got over 50 something people on here, y'all be thinking I be playing when it comes to this. When you got 50 something people on here and only 29 likes, okay, or 59 people on here and nobody really commenting like that, like y'all too stoosh to even comment, which we don't ask for a lot. I was going to do a next half an hour with him because we was going to do an hour. I don't even know like if y'all really want that or we should do that. I don't even know, because I'll let you say that information, because we got a lot of stuff to drop for the pay-per-view live stream. This 3 courses, you understand, 3 classes. So, like, do y'all really want this information, or do y'all just, we just got people that come on here and just like to, how you say?
I don't know, smooch.
Yeah, smooch. Thank you. That's the nice way, because I was going to say the bad way. Smooch off the information. See, that's why some of y'all don't like me, because I'm not going to let no guest of mine, nobody in my circle, just give up all this information to you, especially information that I know you shouldn't even be getting for free. Like Tracy Natural. Yeah, salute to you. You did say, I saw you when you told him hit the like button, and I let it go on for a while without me saying a damn thing about it. Real talk. So we take time out to give you this information. This the amount of information we give, which is just the free information, and y'all find it so hard to be commenting, talking back and forth, letting us know what's going on, or even hitting the like button. Y'all find it so hard to do, and yet y'all want the info.
Yeah, man, it's serious things to consider, right? Let's say you die, you don't repent for your sins and stuff. You're supposed to go to hell, right? Now look at ancient Egypt, right? when you died, it's like they had a system set up that allowed you to repent for your sins.
Say that one more time so they hear that.
Yeah, when you die, I watch all types of information because, like I say, you have to be diverse. You don't know where truth is going to be hiding from you, and watching these, Christians talk about their near death experiences with hell and heaven and stuff like that. And one thing that is clear, you want to repent before you die. If you've not lived a perfect life, you want to repent for your sins, honestly, the things that you did wrong, right? But in ancient Kemet, they had a system set up that would make sure that happens. That's gone now. And some of the stuff that I saw, it was so sad because people like, man, I died, I didn't get to repent. You're in hell forever. You can't get out. Like, damn.
That sounds so mean.
Yeah, it's mean. And that's all I'm thinking about. People are in these revelations of Christ and angels, and they're saying, like, Jesus has to be really mean, or God has to be really mean, because
like they're not playing with you.
Right.
It's not a game.
It's not a game. And I keep trying to wonder, like, why are the deities letting this happen? Like, is this planet your last stop?
Listen, why
you've lived so evil
that
this. God is just giving you one last chance here.
Listen,
you screw up, you
to
go
hell with
hell.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. When we know the price for just one of these books, right? Just one. That's it. Just one. We're going to deal with right now. We know the price for just one of these books. Okay? Now, volume 3. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go out because I'm real pissed and annoyed right now, because it's a shame we be having to do this and say stuff like this. Volume 3, just volume 3 alone cost $300. That's volume 3. We have people buy this up all the time at Nicholas. But look, the price is right here. If you think I'm lying, the price is right here. $300. You have people buy the book big time. No problem. They get the book autographed or whatever. We'll give it to you for $250. Okay? Now, the demographic, and I'm being nice. The demographic of people that flood in to get the book is ridiculous. So I'm going to be nice and safe. Now, for our people, okay, even the demographic that's getting the pay-per-view live stream, which I'm going to put the link in here one more time. Because remember, I'm able to see with the analytics where the people are getting the live stream from. We already let people know the book, you get half price. All 3 books, half price, right?
Right.
And we make sure we go out our way where we're taking basically like an L, giving it out half price.
Right.
Correct? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. So,
with us doing this and giving the information, and we don't be up here, you ain't hear me once tell people super chat. What's the next one? Cash App. You don't hear me and Babadoo tell you set up the GoFundMe. All we ask is that you like constantly at least comment and hit the freaking like button.
Oh, and share the videos out too.
Thank you.
Please share the videos
and share the videos out. And y'all can't even do that. But when we're going and we interact, people will be like one person came and they bought 6 books. This was a Japanese man, okay? And they had a brother that came and was like, yo, that book, the price. And he was like, yeah, but I know the book is worth it. Mind you, this dude, I didn't tell you about him. This dude comes every week, at least 2-3 times in a week. I've been watching him for at least 3 months now. Let me see the book, brother. Or when I'm not there, or if I come upstairs, he go to somebody else. Let me see the book. And he'll be there like this for at least 15 minutes or half an hour. And he one of them fast readers, because I tell he reads a lot. Like how you be just going through the stuff because you're a writer and you read a lot.
Right.
That's how he is. Like this. Jot it down, right? A Japanese man. One of the weeks he was here. A Japanese.
Sipango.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now you know about the Japanese man. Well, I didn't tell you what happened
No, you
with the interaction with this black dude and the Japanese man. And the Japanese bought 6 books. The full price, by the way.
Right.
6 books. Okay. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. 2 books each. Had Baba Noor autographed them. And when the man leave out, the brother that been coming now for a few weeks, always just keep reading, ain't buying the book. And I just watch him. Because I'm like, let me just see how far this is gonna go. He comes. What he doing? What he doing with this book? What he doing with this information? Why is this interesting to him? Then
it's a problem.
That is a problem.
That is a problem.
But you know, you said yourself how valuable the book is, how good the book is. And each time you're trying to be slick, and this is not a poor person, this dude. He's not poor. I want to stress that.
Okay.
And you just read it every time. Then by the time I look, the man already on chapter 3.
You done got 3 chapters for free.
He's already on
Brooklyn
chapter
is not
3.
a library.
We ain't Barnes and Nobles. Ain't no come sit down, open up and read for an hour, 2-3 hours. But I'm watching him.
Watching you.
And I'm like, why do you have something to say about this Japanese man? When I had to put him on the spot.
Because the Japanese said they was the superior race.
I had to put him on the spot. Why do you have something to say about this Japanese man? Well, you've been coming here and I let him know. I've been watching you. I've seen what you've done.
Nothing.
And you're being slick. I guess because I put him on the spot, the man pull out his money and get the book. He pull out his money and get the book.
He bought one.
You understand? The same one, volume 1, he always been reading. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come back and get. Since then he came back and he got volume 2, and then he said he's coming back, so get volume 3. But it took seeing that,
right,
and understanding like, yo, you have this Japanese man that's deep into this, and the Japanese man called me back 2 weeks later and got this part 1. Actually, he got part 1 and part 2 because of the pay-per-view live stream. The first one we did. And well, you know that already. They don't know that. I'm telling them so they know that. So when we ask something simple, like we share the video, comment, we're not even asking for money like that. We don't have no GoFundMe set up. And when you got Japanese, Chinese, remember the 3 ladies from the UK?
Mm-hmm.
When I called you to come sign the book, remember, from the UK, white ladies, 3 of them, 3 books like that, volume 1. Each of them bought their own volume 1.
Reading Rainbow.
All right. And when we try to let you know and give you the information like this, and we set up the Egyptian mystery system, you feel a funny type of way when you see other people that you consider shouldn't be part of it. Are you dumb? I just had to ask the question.
Are you done?
Are you dumb?
Are you done? Are you done?
Are you dumb?
That's Kevin Hart. Are you done?
Remy Ma is, are you dumb?
Are you dumb?
I gotta ask the question. Why are you moving this way with other type of individuals that's learning the mystery system, putting it into good use, and got the nerve to want to call me and Baba New sellouts. When we're looking to come on here and give you this information free, and y'all can't even come. But when I'm watching y'all, the same type of people, by the way, in other live streams, y'all got a whole lot to say. Just typing up a storm. Likes is hit. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, Babanu. Because I know you've seen it, but you might not see what I've seen. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Man, there's so much. I guess just dealing with the situation, dealing with the paradigm.
Salute to Kathy Payne for that super chat support, by the way. And Carlos say stay focused. Yeah, we are looking to stay focused. So people ain't gonna call us no damn sellout. And yes, we are looking to stay balanced. But I get pissed off because we put the information out there for the people, and the information is for everybody that is in tune, correct? Stop me where I'm wrong. That's in tune for the people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you don't own the civilization, the country that we live in, we didn't create this paradigm. We just have to deal with it. Survival. I was gonna, we live in a world where there is so much there's so much discrepancies.
Look at that. Read that out.
Too bad it's gone now. But isn't there something similar? The confession of people before they die in Christian religion?
Yes, and in the Egyptian religion, and that's where this comes into play. Right there.
Yeah, and what you see is when you look at the depiction of the confessional part, you will see that there are 3 different parts of your spirit is in that depiction. That's totally different from the agnosticized understanding that we have of spirituality.
Yeah. When you want to learn situations and certain information like this is where this pay-per-view live stream comes into play. That's why this pay-per-view live stream right here that you see right here on the side of us is important. We giving up the gems, but people, even when we do the regular free live stream, we give up a lot that we should not give up.
People might want to buy the first one first, so maybe we should
listen. What?
Maybe we should.
What? Get a deal. What? No. Now I'm getting. I can't even believe you just said that. No.
I had to say something.
No. Now when you got people coming from Japan, Canada, and whatnot. The dude from Japan was acting like a damn overzealous fan when he saw Baba Noon and me. Benjamin. You know what? Let me not imitate them so our Japanese people don't get mad. But he was just awesome, like
I like sushi.
Joel Benjamin. And then when he see Baba Noon, he would hug up all on Baba Noon and whatnot. And it's like,
I'm the last samurai.
It's like, wow. You understand? Now when you got people from England or other people that's turning around, getting the book from us and selling it for more money.
Part of it too is that voodoo is seen very interestingly around the world. So people expect something very, very interesting from a voodoo priest if they're going to write a book. So this book wasn't going to let people down. I just had to survive the reaction.
I see you. I hear you, Tracy Natural, but that's still no excuse. Okay? Period.
I just had to survive the reaction. You know,
They don't get it. I'll go over their heads.
Kabbalah and Shambhala is different from Kabbalah. Basically, the 12 and 17. I don't know what that person
Where you at? Where? Where?
Evelyn Rosado.
Go ahead. Read it out.
She said, "Yeah, you definitely should start with Kabbalah and Shambhala. I'm not sure what Shambhala is. Sounds nice though.
Shambhala. The lost city of Shambhala.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I
what she's
thought it
talking
was.
about.
But it's a place. It's different from Kabbalah. Basically, the 12 and 72.
Right. Anyway, go ahead. Continue. I just had to get that out the way because we're giving the information,
Man,
man. And it's like,
that
come
was
on.
like diarrhea. that was
For
like
real.
that was like a diuretic episode whereby we just needed to pull out the purification and get things back to the center. But you know, when we live in a world where truth is very, very confounded, we live in a world with, you know, media generated perception nonsense. I mean, there's so much misinformation, and this filters into your spiritual life. This filters into your dreams. It 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 paints perception and your ability to connect with the deities. You will find that it's much it's much easier to connect with uh, the deities, get experience from visitations from ancestors, angels, deities, gods, when you get a better perspective, when you get a, you know, a better hold on what is going on. It's supposed to be a situation whereby you receive some, you know, type of training first. You know, you receive some type of, you know, indoctrination first. You know, you have to have, by with that saying, you have to have a professional and structured approach to the information, because it's your mind that you are going to be grappling with your experiences. And if the mind isn't ready, then your perception of what is going on can be very, very, you know, it it can be off. You know, it's like, if you don't believe it, you won't experience it. You know, if you don't know that it's real, you don't think that it's a possibility of it to be real, it 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 kind of causes an intellectual blockage, which is why when you look at Kabbalah, the you know, air sphere, that corresponds to, you know, Mercury, and you know, Mercury's intellectual and mental, but that is also the opener of the way, and that's the opener of the way to different realms of knowledge, experience, and power, and those type of things. And without proper information, without proper indoctrination, that doesn't happen. You know, you can go to the 50th hexagram of the I Ching, and it talks about the cauldron, the pot that was used to prepare the food for the kings and the queens. And you know, that cauldron and that food is also metaphoric. It's a metaphoric representation of knowledge. You know, in spirituality, you know, the role of the, you know, king and queen is seen as examples for the rest of the population, but specifically for the priesthood. You know, the king and the queen, they are the high priest above all the other, you know, priests and priestesses. So you know, there is this um how their life is represented and you know, spoken of, that correlates with the path of, you know, being a priest, a priestess, and that is the path to becoming a deity. You know, this is your life. This is your destiny. we have the potential to get up there on that level with the Neteru, with the gods and the goddesses. That doesn't happen in this life. Yeah.
Salute to King Simon, by the way.
Salute to King Simon. He's been on the grind for many, many, many years and has had a lot of experience as well with different spiritual people and schools of thoughts. And, knowing and understanding that for, some of us, this is very, very important. This is not something to, joke with. This is not something to, pimp. This is not something to prostitute. This is not something that get up there and talk about so that you can get more respect or more like or more money
And
or
views.
or more women or more views or all this type of stuff. When you look at what's going to happen to me after I die. They said that the ancient Egyptians were preoccupied with death. When you look at what these quote unquote Christians are saying, their experiences near death and whatnot with hell, it makes sense why the ancient Egyptians were so preoccupied with being very, very righteous so that after they die, they don't get sent to the pits of hell. You know, they weren't a bunch of weirdos. They may be preoccupied with death because they want to be gothic or no. They knew what was waiting for them. Every house in ancient Kemet had a shrine to the deity Taort. Taort is Lucifer's mother. They did that for protection. They did that for protection because they knew how much demons are down there trying to trap people's soul and trap people's souls in hell.
See, I'm looking at you, right?
You
see, I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
right?
because there's certain things that
you shouldn't be.
People just don't know, man.
But that the reason why they don't know. The reason why they don't know is because things like this is what they supposed to be getting into. See, I'll just post up the link again.
There's all type of crazy stuff.
Look, they're supposed to be getting classes like this.
Yep.
But when they're dealing with certain individuals, like you said, that are elders,
misleaders,
and other people that come and act like they're about this and they pimping and whoring it out. Listen, long story short, it's a reason, because Baba Nu could tell you. He's right here. Right here. He could tell you. There's times where he said stuff on this live stream and he went back and looked and he called me. I was like, oh, ish. I wasn't supposed to say that, man. I'm going to get visited tonight. And sometimes he get on my case like, why didn't you stop me? I'm like, well, I figured you wanted to talk. I let you flow. I don't want the people to feel like, certain things. But, when you can't just give up certain information.
There's a lot.
Because it's a transfer.
Right.
You got to be in a certain system.
This is secret knowledge. This is secret knowledge that only if you're involved on a certain level, you get to know certain things. I mean, like, I consecrated the deity Taort. Afterwards, she started telling me about Lucifer and the gestation when he was in the womb, and he's still bad. Would you think that a Canu deity would be familiar with Lucifer? But when you study, like, you don't see that. And you might be like, oh, that's just Christian nonsense. Another thing that is so insane with this movement and people just being misguided, some white guy said that hell was invented by some white man. I mean, and people just posting this everywhere. Hell was invented by a white. Hell was invented.
I'm trying not to laugh.
When you study history, culture, and religion, there was hell before the white man. There's Valhalla. That's before the white man. Lent, during Lent, people will go down into Valhalla. The Christian church only picked up on Lent because the quote unquote pagans or Christians would not give up on Lent because it was so important to take that 40 days to, clean your system out and reconcile family issues. That 40-day period is for you to reconcile issues that you have with members of your family. And that's also when people who wasn't sent to their, hell where Lucifer and his demons is not the same as Valhalla. Valhalla, you can get out. Hell, you can't get out. So Valhalla is when you're not a quote unquote gross like type of sinner. But when you look at the Hebrews and the Vikings are talking about Valhalla. And I
Shit,
can
that's
recall,
where you get with the Thor.
Yeah.
And if you remember in Marvel, which they say they get the information from us to create these characters, and Stan Lee been admitted that. Valhalla, when you had the queen that was running the show, they was like, yo, this place where the Nazgods are, where we a certain set of gods, she is this. She gets destroyed, we get destroyed. And she was running that underworld that just like how you said that that's separate.
Right.
She was running that. And they put that in the movie, but people just it goes over everybody's heads. And then you had a being, for if y'all haven't seen the movie starring Ragnarok, I don't know what to tell you, because they didn't want Ragnarok to come forth. It had a next being from a different part of our underworld that had to destroy it. In the beginning, he was like, yo, the being was telling Thor, like, yo, it's going to happen. You could try to prolong this all you want, but it's going to happen. And sure enough, at the end of the movie, they're like, damn, like we got somebody that's really a bigger threat than this being that we was trying to prevent Ragnarok from. So we need to release this being to destroy her, to bring forth Ragnarok. So we ain't got the rest of the other dimensions areas get destroyed by this one being, because she was very, very powerful. Right or wrong? Yeah. You saw that movie.
No,
you didn't see it? Oh, you gotta see that.
Yeah,
they were dropping it in there, how they used another being from another part of the underworld.
Yeah, I haven't watched
to destroy her
in a while.
Because everybody thought Odin was this strong type of superior being. And then it's like, no, Odin's daughter is the one who got the shit, who's with the ish. You understand what I'm saying? Because she had that power. So it's a system. Bottom line, to bring it all home, is a system that y'all are just not privy to. And not all y'all supposed to be privy to. People would be like, oh, the price though and whatnot. Not being mean, it's not for you then.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for saying that?
No, we're all not the same, When I was young, I pretty much gave my life to this. I was part of a group. In that group, I worked for free. Was that slavery? Kind of like what's it called? Church of Scientology. They get a debt for like $150,000, and they gotta work it off. When they take the classes, the amount comes up to like $150,000, and then they have to work Scientology for free to pay it off.
Woo!
But that's how serious they are.
Woo!
That's just to say that it's called devotion. It's an emotional thing. You have to have a devotion to this. Down to the realization that sometimes, man, if things ain't going the way that you want it, you can yell and scream at the gods, man. Make sure that they hear you. But when you're deep in in the practice and the study and stuff, you start to realize certain things. How these the deities have human personality traits. You know, they're not always looking at your problem. In fact, they hardly look at your problems. Sometimes they don't even know that you're having a problem
And they could
because
care less when they find out that you're having a damn problem because you're not initiated
that too.
in a system where they like, yo, like some people, they be like, yo, you Hebrew, what the hell you know about Anubis? Well,
Right,
and it's not something that I really talk about with the people out here. But anyway,
right.
what you know about Anubis? And I'll tell them straight, Anubis don't like you. Anubis don't care about you.
Yeah.
And it's not me trying to be mean. I'm just saying, if you haven't encountered, there's only one person that I met that deals in the Egyptian system that as a customer. I mean, that came in and he was able to tell me, he was like, "Oh, you deal with running the underworld." And when he caught me off guard with it, so like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." Of course, I was lying.
Right.
And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah." Because he would come and buy up all them Egyptian statues that we have here.
Right.
And he'd be like, "I want this one, that one." And we get it from him. He buy them all up. And he was like, "Yeah, you deal with Anubis." That's something I don't tell everybody just like that. And he was giving me details on how I was able to deal with Anubis. And he was like, yeah, he's with you right now. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yo, you don't know that? I was like, yeah, I know that. After I told him, because, people just be saying stuff and
Right.
you have to test them.
Right.
So when he said that, I was like, wow. He was like, yo, Anubis is one of the most rare DT that do not deal with anybody like that. You have to be a part of a certain
Because
system.
Anubis is Gnostic, and Gnosticism is only for certain people.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anubis, he is one of the most rarest out of all of them. Heru, how they say, thought, all of that. He will not mess with you because with that hole in the heart
Yeah.
and dealing to take you like Anubis is that one. So when he hit me with that, and I got to find out he was dealing with a priestess, the dude that was able to see and know what was going on. He dealt with a priestess. As a matter of fact, he bought your books. He bought your books. You know who it is. Now, if I describe him to you, you'll know because you had to sign the stuff. The priestess is one of them high level ones where she has the in Africa where like as far as the eyes could see where she ruled that part of Africa. And like when she go to the UN, she's a person when she comes here, she got the limo and and NYPD on each side and whatnot. Like it's crazy. It's deep how that goes. So hold on. So how that is, it's like weird. You have to be part of a system to really be down with this information. Because if you're not part of the system, you will not get this information. It's not us being mean. That's why, again, I will post up the link. And that's why I post up the link. Me and Baba New, and we do this for only a certain selected few. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah. You don't for the classes. You don't have to have read the books for the classes. That's what the class is for. I'll be going in depth in the information that's actually in the book. The class is like taken from the book, so I'll be going over that information in there. And yeah, we have a whole lot of people that talk about the ancient Egyptian system and stuff like that. But it's let's even take away those words. It's it is Gnosticism right now, and it's not really open. It's not open. It got shut down over 2,000 years ago. It's been shut down. And when we look at um history, especially European history, from that point on, as opposed to African history, because a lot of the people that had that Gnostic knowledge, they went down into Africa as those Egyptians and Hebrews and whatnot fled the north, running away from the corruption and the homosexuality. They were able to go to parts of Africa where they could continue with their with the Gnosticism of this spiritual culture and paradigm. Whereas now in the north, with the Romans and the Roman Catholic Church and whatnot, they went on a rampage to erase the Gnosticism, to erase the paganism, and we really didn't see anything on that level until the missionaries started coming into different indigenous areas. And as those people started to get conquered and influenced, that's where the agnostic ideologies in those places started to increase. But if you are lucky to have the type of contact that will allow you to see certain things, and it is about belief. I remember when I didn't believe in spaceships, UFOs, or aliens. As far as I was concerned, alien is deity. You know, but in terms of the idea that there are different, beings, gods as well, and goddesses that travel the universe in flying craft, I just didn't believe it. And even some of the deities that work with me that have spacecraft, I would never see their spacecraft because I just didn't believe it. But after it was someone said to me, this was my brother, he broke it down mathematically and scientifically based on a show that he had watched to prove that there has to be beings with flying craft perusing the universe, just because we humans have flight craft perusing the planet. And how long it took us to get there, when you look at how long the universe has been in existence for, someone else beat us to it. Someone else is already doing it. And it wasn't until after that that my experiences with deities from different planets that live in different planets that have spaceships and whatnot, that's when I was able to see it, after I started to believe it. So that's a function of your mind. You know, if you don't believe that something is real, it it could be in front of you. There's a possibility it could be in front of you, but you cannot see it. Your mind will paint a different picture. That's a whole nother level of cognitive dissonance. That's like cognitive delusion. And we suffer from cognitive delusion in on the astral realm. That's where we are more likely to see a wider spectrum of reality, but because of belief we don't get to see it. you know but whether you might have someone that is trying to help you to get to see it. It might be an ancestor or deity. And books and teachers are irreplaceable for that reason. Down here, it is confusion on an epic level. you know Down here, and this this is a training ground. Planet Earth is a training ground. So that's also inherent in why it is difficult down here. And that degree of difficulty that gets translated into our accumulation of spiritual power and our intellectual evolution. you know we are faced with a challenge, with an intellectual challenge as human beings on the planet, and we get through that through proper research, having the proper guides, getting the proper information, and employing proper tools and techniques at at the very least, until this is a phase of humanity that will pass soon. you know every I think it's 2160 years we pass through a different zodiacal sign, and at those points of transition from one sign to the next, that's when the changes occur, and we are due for that right now. There's going to be a lot of climactic changes, a lot of damage, but once we get to the age of Aquarius, we will be having a different experience as human beings on this planet, and not any of that new age scientific psycho babble. You have all these nut jobs, and these people are going to hell. When you get up on a pulpit and put out a lot of false information, you go to hell for that. You get punished for that. This idea that we are going to be, I don't know, going to Mars and going to the moon, and that's not good. No, no. It's the focus will be on us as a species, our behavior, how we function, and how we function with each other. That will be the primary focus, and the technology it'll still be there. There is a wipeout coming, a large wipeout. A lot of people are going to get capsized. Mean it is a purification. After that, there will be a rebuilding of human society. After that purging, after that cleansing, and that will usher in the age of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius astrologically um corresponds to the deity Osiris, or Osir in ancient Kemet. So, this is the return of Osiris. After the 25,920 years of going through all the signs of the zodiac, it starts back with the creator deity. Osir is the creator deity par excellence. In ancient Kemet, when you study the book of knowing the evolutions of Ra and overthrowing Opep, it says, "And my name is Osiris," meaning that the identity of the creator being is seen as Osiris. So it's a beginning point. Won't be any new Earth and Gaia and all that Oprah Winfrey nonsense. A lot of the people out there, whether they are New Age and Christians too, are going to hell. Religious denomination, you know uh that doesn't give you any special pass. It's behavior that matters. And you start to see behavior intellectually when people are better taught, as opposed to just dismissing things that a particular person from a particular race or religion or group might say, the person that has had enough research, has had enough time in contemplation, you know, less likely to get caught up in the division. Is he right? Well, I'll also progress in the modernity. That's right because so you know the God Genes Decoded series of books takes a very very careful, insightful, and scientific approach to looking at what the ancient Egyptians believed, and it is a daunting task to try to get a grapple on a civilization that ended about 2,000 years ago, but that lasted about 4,000 years and even has remnants of history that go beyond that point. You know, you are looking at whether it's religion or science, whether it is, architecture, whether it is medicine. These people had so much that they were dealing with relative to what we have, and in in certain ways we are starting to catch up on the information and the understanding that they had. And what I did was I correlated it, meaning showing where contemporary science is, we call it, on the cutting edge of science. The cutting edge of science has already been explored by the ancient canoe, you know? And if you get enough of an understanding of science, you can even do a better job of theorizing how they were able to build those those pyramids. You know, just about everything in Egypt will be destroyed, but you still see these, pyramids up there. It didn't make sense. It would not have been feasible for them to, one, carve the rock in that size that was used, and drag it, somehow hoil it, and hoist it up to make those pyramids. Um, you can only get a nice, perfect flat edge using some type of machinery if you're going to be cutting stone. So when you look at these programming, meaning the light has to go on. You got to get to a certain point where you have better discernment. You have them showing people using rocks, like a round rock, to bang and carve these stones. Then they're saying that people used sand and a saw that didn't have teeth to cut these stones. They're also saying that you couldn't even put a razor blade in between these stones. That can only happen if the stone was wet when it was put in there. The 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 only way you can have no spaces in between stone is if something made it perfectly flat, has to be horizontal, has to be perpendicular to another flat surface, or if you use a mold. So it's only obvious that they poured the stone. Whether they got the stone liquid by melting it, or they use sand and some type of bacteria that would digest the sand and create the stone liquid, and then it would harden, like cement. And it's obviously it's obvious that Not exactly the same way, but they were using cement. I went to Hawaii a few years ago. Sister wanted to show me evidence of Lemuria. When we got down by the beach, she showed me these stones. I'm looking at these stones, and in my mind, these stones were made from coral or something in the ocean. Then she showed me the lines, the creases in between the stone. The stone was poured, but it looks like stone from the ocean. And it wasn't black people that did that. It wasn't the Hawaiians that did that. After I got back from Hawaii, then my ancestors started to talk to me about Lemuria. Lemuria was off the coast of Hawaii. And they also told me that the Caucasians were allowed in there, and that's how it got destroyed. So they were trying to hide evidence of Lemuria in Hawaii by putting these stones down by the beach. Thank you. Yeah, by putting these stones down by the beach to cover things up. And to the naked eye, it looks like stone that's made from the ocean or whatnot. But you get close enough, it's man made, it's human made. Some person made that stone and poured that stone down by the beach.
Salute to this guy, TM. Salute to you for that super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Um, it's funny that you say that 'cause I've been listening to you. Um, I'm going to set something up, and it's coming next year, and we're going to do the event in here. And I'm coming out. Nah, I was going to spill the beans on that part. But anyway, the Holy Quebec or Quebec, however they want to pronounce it. A lot of people been asking for that. They want that, and I got you covered. I'm going to say that, and I'm looking to set something up next year with my man right here, brother Baba Nu and Hannibal Bay. Okay, remember when the last time it was on my show, it was lit. So you see, I made sure I gave y'all a whole over an hour and a half of straight Baba Nu. All right. Let me tell y'all this. I'm putting the link up in the description again and in the comment section, and I'm putting it in the chat right now. This is the chat for you to get the pay-per-view live stream. You see that with it talks about that in the Holy Quebec with that whole the nuke thing and with the man-made stuff and with them trying to hide it.
Okay.
And we're coming with that, and it's going to be a release. We're gonna have like it's gonna be real nice. As next year, it's coming. I don't want to give out too much of the information, but it's coming, and I will say that. Okay. Um, just tell them why they need the pay-per-view live stream. Let's wrap this up. Which they should know by now. We've been saying it for the longest, but hey, whatever. Go ahead.
Um, you want to get a very, very good understanding of the design and intricacies of your spiritual anatomy. You want to at least, if it hasn't been happening before, get more into an experience with the spiritual realm that might be, broader base. One of the things that I do, like I had been doing for the past 20 or so minutes, is going into a lot of correlating information, and supporting information. You know, you will get to see. Why exercise, yoga exercise, working out, etc., different postures and breathing exercise, chanting, using certain sounds. That's how you jumpstart and kickstart your spiritual life and spiritual experiences and those types of things.
Read that.
Will we benefit from the course if we didn't read the books?
Most definitely,
You will
Tracy Natural. Oh, extremely.
extremely,
But
and
they'll take it up to a higher level,
yeah,
of course, once you get the books. But go ahead.
you know, sometimes it is easier to digest when the author is speaking about it as opposed to you just simply reading about it. So you will get the benefit if you didn't read the book. So I kind of get the expectation that the reason why classes have to be done is that you can't expect everybody to really get everything just from reading a book. So classes become instrumental at filling in certain gaps and certain things.
Any other
Tra
questions?
la 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 ti da
What's up,
la
Evelyn
ti da.
Rosado?
Peace, light, and love.
All right, salute to everybody up in here. Need to make some more moderators. I need my moderators when they come up in here, they chatty. I need that type of moderator up in here. All right, no more questions. Let's close it out, Baba. New.
Peace and love to everyone. Thank you all for listening in. The courses will start on the 31st. You can use the link to purchase your ticket, or you can just simply contact Joel Benjamin, Nicholas Brooklyn. You can pay him directly, and then when it starts,
The number to call me, 929-374-3828. That's 929-374-3828. Could we get a round of applause for giving y'all this information? Could we get some ones? Could we get some thumbs up? Could we get something up in here? Like, gosh, damn, y'all almost got 2 hours. Could y'all show some love and freaking appreciation? Why don't you?
yeah, man, that was a lot of information, man. A lot of information. Hold on a second there. To digest. It said that the race is not always to the swift, but to those who endureth.
Mm.
So it's not a fly by night thing when you're studying. It's a life journey. This is a life journey. It takes time to, especially to flesh through all the confusion, especially to flesh through all the confusion. And then it takes time to contemplate. I remember one day I was sitting down home and I was meditating, and I saw my animal totem get up out of my body and walk off. It was angry,
Mm.
and it went to take care of business. But it's like, I can see that because I did a lot of years of yoga and meditation and chanting mantras, and you know it takes time, you know and you can talk to your animal totem, tell it not to do certain things or to do certain things. So
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Or
it's a
to do
whole,
certain
yeah, it's a whole different type of experience. There is a papyrus in ancient Kemet of a man, and he's either praying, he actually praying and having a conversation with his angel guide. So, you know, so people were able to establish a relationship with the different parts of themselves.
That is so deep.
Very, very interesting. You know, you could have a picture that can represent your higher self or your animal totem.
We're gonna teach.
Yeah,
We're gonna
view.
give you all that.
Yeah, that is what you have to get into the class. Get into the class to get the information.
Mm,
We will take you back to Africa. Get you away from the white man's ways.
don't say we ain't tell you.
You will not see Wakanda, but you will see something else.
Facts. Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang.
If you
Gang,
want to
gang,
be the
gang.
Black Panther, you have to go to see the Loga Whoopers.
This dude over here wilding out. Babadoo wilding out. People. Joel Benjamin 528. Me and my man here, Baba Nu. Let me see. See, Thrill says learned a lot today. Thank you. You're very much welcome. Get that pay-per-view live stream now. And it is this how you say the 31st?
The 31st
October
of
31st.
October.
Here's the link. I'm posting the link up again. Salute to you all. Later.
Peace. That one was good.